Dear children, welcome to the session. The lesson we are discussing is matter around us, Q. So let me discuss what we discussed in the previous session. We discussed about the colloids, solution and suspension. And now we will continue with the colloidal solution techniques and followed by the separating the components of a mixture. There are various techniques can be used to separate the mixtures. First we will see how we can separate the colloidal solution. So the colloidal solution cannot be separated with the help of filter paper. So for that we need a special techniques can be used for the separation of the colloidal particles. For that we need the centrifugation tube. With the help of centrifugation we can separate the colloidal particles. So in that there are various test tubes are in between the centrifugation tubes. So in that we have to put the colloidal solution, and after that we have to switch on the centrifugation, means the rotation will be takes place. So with that the lighter particles is settled at the bottom and that heavier particles will settle down. So in that test tube, so from that we can easily separate the colloidal particles. And there are two major components are there in the colloidal solution. One is disposed phase and second one is disposed medium. So what is the term disposed phase? The substance distributed as particles is known as disposed phase. It will distributed as a particles. And disposed medium means it is a continuous phase in which the colloidal particles are dispersed. It is a continuous phase in which the colloidal particles are disposed is known as disposed medium. So there are various examples for colloidal solutions. Let me see one by one. If the disposed phase is liquid and the disposed medium is gas, means it's a type of aerosol. So for that the example is fog, clouds and mist. And disposed phase is solid and disposed medium is gas. So what is the type? Yes, it's aerosol. And the example for that is smoke, automobile exhaust. And gas in liquid, so it's a type of foam. The example is shaving cream. And liquid in liquid, the example is emulsion. And the example is milk and face cream. And next is solid in liquid, so it's a type of salt. And example is milk of magnesia. So milk of magnesia is nothing but it's a magnesium hydroxide. So these magnesium hydroxide is used to reduce the burning sensation of stomach. If the person feel burning sensation in the stomach, means for that we need the antacids. So antacids means it will reduce the burning sensation of the stomach. So for that we needed its milk of magnesia. And the gas in solid, its type of foam, and that example is foam, rubber, sponge and pumice. And liquid in solid, so it's a type of gel. The examples are jelly, cheese, butter. And solid in solid, its type of solid salt. So the examples are colored gemstone and milky glass. So these are all the examples of colloids. And let me see the difference between the true solution, colloidal solution and suspension with the various properties. There are various properties are there now. Let me see one by one. First is particle size. So the particle size of true solution is 1 angstrom to 10 angstrom. For colloidal solution it is 10 angstrom to 2000 angstrom. For suspension, the particle size is larger. So it will be more than 2000 angstrom. And next is for appearance. Appearance, the true solution is transparent. Colloidal solution is translucent. Suspension is opaque. And visibility of particles. True solution, we can't able to see even under the ultra microscope. But the colloidal solution, it will be visible under ultra microscope. The suspension, it will be visible with our naked eye. Nature, true solution is homogeneous. Colloidal solution is heterogeneous. Suspension is also heterogeneous. And diffusion of particles. True solution, it will diffuses rapidly. So rapidly means fastly it will diffuse. Colloidal solution diffuses slowly. Suspension, diffusion does not occur. In suspension, the diffusion will not take place. And scattering effect. In true solution, does not scatter light. So when we pass the light on the true solution, it will not have the beam of light. The light is not visible in that. So the scattering does not take place in the true solution. And also in suspension also, the scattering of light does not take place. But in colloidal solution, we can see the beam of light in the colloidal solution. So the scattering light takes place in the colloidal solution. And next we see the next interesting topic is separating the components of the mixture. So how we can separate the mixture components. So we have learned that most of the natural substances are not chemically pure. So for that, there are different methods of separation are used to get individual components from a mixture. There are various methods can be used. So separation makes it possible to study and use the individual components of the mixture. And heterogeneous mixture can be separated into various respective constituents by simple physical methods. There are hand picking, sieving, filtration that we use in our day-to-day life. So heterogeneous mixture can be separated with the simple methods are there. One is hand picking, sieving and filtration. Sometimes special techniques have to be used for the separation of the components of a mixture. There are various techniques can be used. Let me see one by one. So how can we obtain colored component dye from blue or black ink? For that we have to go for the activity 2.4. So take your book, children, make it fast and take the activity 2.4. So what's the activity? Tells, so fill half a beaker with a water. So we have to take a beaker. So in that beaker we have to fill half of the water in that beaker. And put a watch glass on the mouth of the beaker. So we have to put the watch glass at the bottom of the beaker. And put few drops of ink on the watch glass. So we have to put some ink, that is blue ink or black ink, on the watch glass. And now start heating the beaker. So we have to heat the beaker. We do not want to heat the ink directly. So we didn't heat the ink directly. So with the help of water only we have to heat the ink. And you will see that evaporation is taking place from the watch glass. You can see here. So when we heat, so what takes place? The evaporation will be takes place in the watch glass. And continue heating as the evaporation goes on, and stop heating when you do not see any further change on the watch glass. So we have to continuously heat. At the heat process, the evaporation will takes place. So at some time, at further times, so we have to stop the heating. So when we have to stop, there is no change on the watch glass. So at that time we have to stop the heating process. And we have to observe carefully and record your observation. So what you will observe in that. So let me see some questions in that. So in that question you can easily understand the concept. So what do you think has got evaporated from the watch glass? So what do you think in that evaporation? So on heating the solution, that is, so in the bottom, so what is that? Watch glass, that is ink dye is there, no? So on heating the solution, the water evaporates. So in the dye, so the water it will evaporates and we get back the ink dye on the watch glass. So we can get the dye in the watch glass. There is some residue will be there. So residue means nothing but it's a precipitate will be there. And is there a residue on the watch glass? Residue means some precipitation is there. Is there? Yes. There is some residue on the watch glass. There is an ink dye on the watch glass. And what is your interpretation? So what is your explanation? So what did you observe in that? The different substance has a different boiling point. So substance, for example, water. So water, its boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. So from that, there are different substance it will having the different boiling point. For example, the alcohol compounds and the dye substance. So it's having the different boiling point. So when we use this property to separate the components of the mixture. So when by the process of evaporation, so we can separate the components of the mixture. And here the boiling point of ink is much higher than that of water. So in that, so we have to heat the two components. One is water and another one is ink. So in that, there are two components are there. So when we heat the components, means the boiling point which is lower, first it will evaporate, and further the another compound it will be settled at that apparatus. So here the boiling point of ink is much higher than that of water. So with the process of evaporation we can separate the water. So by this we can get the ink dye. And on heating the ink solution, water evaporates while ink dye remains in the china dish. So in that the water it will remove, it will evaporate it, and the ink dye it will remain in the China.